Good. Shit. Here we go. Shalom, Israel, with the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Today we're going over a rough topic. We think that crimes against our people, crimes against Black, Hispanic, and Native Americans are no longer relevant in the Black community. We think that we've come past the time where racism and past the time where crimes against us, we think we've moved past that. But as Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, we've been under this scrutiny, under this perpetual hatred since forever. The thing about the brother we're discussing today is it brought Black people together. It made an uprising. It sparked what was once known as the Civil Rights Movement. The thing about the Civil Rights Movement is that it wasn't spearheaded by righteous men. It wasn't spearheaded by men that were strong enough to move a movement so big. So what happened is Satan got involved and took over the Civil Rights Movement. This brother passing away brought Black people together. And what made it so heavy is that this brother was from Chicago and came down to Mississippi during the time of Brown versus Board of Education. In 1955, Brown versus Board of Education was 1 year removed. It was during the time where the riots or the discrimination was so heavy, or the tension was so thick that you can feel it. You can feel. She told her son to be small when he got to Mississippi, and it's so heinous. Today we're gonna watch what those oppressors did to our brother, and we're gonna break it down, and we're gonna find out what the Bible said about them, and we really gonna unpack the story that most of us don't know nothing about. Most of us don't know nothing about Emmett Till. We're gonna learn today, right? Y'all put a 1 in the chat if y'all can hear us, and if y'all can't, let me know.
I believe the whole United States is mourning with me. And if the death of my son can mean something to the other unfortunate people all over the world, then for him to have died a hero would mean more to me than for him just to have died.
Emmett 14, was kidnapped and killed allegedly for wolfing at the wife of accused Roy Brown. It's not.
All right. So Emmett Till was, Nah, that ain't it. Emmett Till was 14 years old. Went to Mississippi and whistled at a white woman, or whistled at an oppressor. I can say white woman, right? Whistled at a white woman allegedly, right? And they went home and thought nothing of it. They didn't think nothing of it. 3 days later, the oppressor came and beat Emmett Till to the point he was unrecognizable. They beat Emmett Till so bad that when his casket opened, a piece of his head fell off. They had to put his head back together and put a block underneath it so they can hold his head together. Right? Emmett Till whistled at the white woman and started a war in Mississippi.
Let's just that we discovered his body and that he's been killed. He has been brutally beaten. As a criminal defense attorney, when we look at crimes, we often try to put together a picture about what happened, and it takes a lot of hatred and a lot of rage to do the kind of violence that was done to Emmett Till.
All right. Let's get Psalms 129 and 21. Start with Psalms 129 and 21. So, this is what happened. So after he was can I say the K word? After he was unalived, right? They found his I can say body. They found his body almost 2 counties over, or a county over, 30 miles away from where he was taken from, right? And when they found his body 3 days later, they sent a note to his mother that he was dead. Or can I say dead? That he was unalive, right? They tried these two oppressors for murder, and they was acquitted. When the prosecutor knew the whole jury, the prosecutor selected the whole jury. The whole jury of Edomites was selected by the prosecutor, right? At the end, they had a split decision, 12-0, that the two Edomites were not guilty. But at the beginning, it was 3 people that thought that they were guilty. This is how much evidence they had against those oppressors, that Emmett Till was unalive on purpose, right? So now, after they was tried for murder, or tried for murder M1, then they was retried for kidnapping by the Supreme Court, and they were acquitted of those charges as well, right? So you can't charge somebody twice for the same crime. So the only 2 crimes that they really had was M1 and kidnapping. After they did that, they sold their story to the magazine for $4,000 in 1955. They admitted to everything, and they made money off of the unaliving of Emmett Till. 1955, August 20th, 1955, $4,000 by selling the story to the magazine. Now, you just imagine to yourself how heinous or how diabolical you gotta be to do something like that. You take a brother's life, or you take somebody, a young boy's life, 14 years old, for whistling at your wife. It was a brother and his half brother. He whistled at your wife, and you beat him to death. That he's not even recognized. They take a wheel or some type of metal thing and throw him in the river, right? His body's found. Somebody's fishing. A couple days later, while they're fishing, they just see some knees in the water, knees bobbling in the water. It's a body. They get the body out the water, and they say that they found the body. They recognized him by the ring in his finger that his mother gave him, right? So now when she says, "That's my son," they say, "Are you sure that's your son? We think you made it up. We believe this whole thing is a plot to come against our small town. You bringing that up north NAACP mess to our small town." That's what these Edomites said. That's what these Edomites said. So when they say to me that we far removed from this time or this era, we're not. Because some young sister just got her head blown off by a oppressor. Right or wrong? Some young woman just got her head blown off by a oppressor coming into her house. She called them for help, and they came and killed her, or they came and unalived her. Let me get the scripture I asked for. 29 and 21. Huh? 129? That's a lot. One second. Psalms 139, 21.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 129. It's like chapter 139, verse 21. Do not I hate them, O Lord, that hate thee, and am not I grieved with those that raise up against me, that rise up against me.
The Lord said, it's like if David said, do not I hate them that hate thee, that raise up against thee. It's righteous for us to not like the people that would do something so heinous to a brother like this. I'm going to put his face back up so you can see it. It's righteous for us to not like the people that would do a crime to a young brother and do him like this. It's righteous for us to not like them. Because in their spirit, they can't love. They can't care. They can't have humility for a people if they treat them like this. They would do this to your brother or your son or your uncle or your father. What you imagine they would do to you or do to me? So in return, I love my brothers. I show my brothers the utmost respect, the utmost care, which we're going to come back to later. I show my brothers all the respect and all the care in the world because I know we have a common enemy. Even Bloods and Crips get along when they got a common enemy. Even the most simple or the most base of organizations can get along when they got the same enemy. Why can't we see who our enemy is today? Why can't we see who's committing the crimes against us today? Because they pulled the wool over our eyes. They made us think that voting is going to help us. Voting is going to make you free from people like this. Voting is going to make you free from the person that's going to beat you so bad that your family won't recognize you. That's what's supposed to help us, right? Donald Trump. Well, somebody just got their head blown off by calling the cops. Somebody just got unalive recently. You know what? This is what Joe Biden did do for us as a president. Joe Biden passed a law in 2022. The law is the anti-lynching law. The Emmett anti-lynching law. So in 2022, they made it a hate crime to lynch. Imagine that. Imagine that. Lynching was just outlawed 2 years ago.
Is the anti-lynching black people on?
Yes. Lynching was just outlawed 2 years ago. You know how many people was lynched? No, how many people was lynched? How many people was lynched in like 20 years is an insane number. It's like 600 people was lynched between, like, I think the 30s or the 30s and in the 1900s. 600 people was lynched. Emmett Till was beat to death and thrown in the river. And they called it an Emmett Till anti-lynching law in 2022. So that's what Biden did do for black people. He made it illegal to lynch. Yeah, 2 years ago. It's insane how they treat us as a people. And for us to just fall in place, and for us to just be comfortable with them treating us this way, it makes no sense to me. It makes no sense how we can call them our friends, how we can eat with them. Now, I'm not saying you treat every person, you know what I'm saying, as if they committed this act. But what you should do is know who they are and know who they come from. And that brother Emmett Till he went in the store like we would go in the store. He said hi like we would say hi. And when he said hi to the person in the store, she took offense to it. And she told her husband, and 3 days later he was unalive. He was nice to her. And by being nice to her, it cost him his life. That's why the scripture said, can I not hate them that hate thee? Read it again.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 139, verse 21. Do not I hate them, O Lord, that hate thee? And am I grieved with those that rise up against thee?
Man, look, this is wisdom in this Bible. This is why I love it so much. Because when we see these type of things, when you see that sister get unalive, when you see Freddie Gray, or when you see George Stinney, or what's the brother that was in Detroit or Milwaukee, the one that had the knee on his neck, George Floyd. It's a list of them. It's a ton of them. When we see this type of thing, you know what's crazy? It's a book by Gunnar Murdoch called the American Dilemma, the Negro Problem in America. In the 40s, they said that police brutality would be the new lynching, and that's why we see what we see today. Like, Esau knows who we are. Esau got so many records of us, how we like lab rats. And so they know how we respond to anything because they've been playing with us forever. They had us in cages and studied us, literally. So Esau knows what's going on. So in this case, you know what I'm saying, as we become a people, as we become somebody that gain knowledge, gain notoriety, gain power, and gain status in America, we should build ourselves together. We should be able to come together because this is grievous. And then thinking that you can be friends with a person like this is insane. Because you don't know who's like this. You don't know if you whistle at a person that they're going to turn around and unalive you. You don't know if you compliment a person on their shoes that they may see it as if you flirting, tell their husband and they come unalive you. Now, granted, this is a different time. Just 80 years ago, so many people are still alive. So many people are still alive today that seen this. I'm just here so we can help each other get smarter. I'm just here so we can help each other get wiser. That's what the Bible is doing. So am I not grieved that the people that rise up against thee? Go ahead.
22. I hate them with perfect hatred. I count them mine's enemy. Verse 20.
Give me Hebrews. Matter of fact, read 22. Oh, no. Give me Hebrews 12 and 11.
Okay.
If y'all got anything to say, y'all can chime in at any given moment. Especially online, I can see y'all chats. I can see your chat today. Oh, shit. Oh, it's locked. Just R and Paint. What's up, sis? What's going on? How you been, sis? Mom, I see you in the chat. What's up, Naima? Gerald Williams, I see you in the chat. Sister Samantha, I see you in the chat. Pasadena. All right.
This is the book of Hebrews, chapter 12, verse 11. Now no chastising for the present seemeth to be joyous.
Yeah. Read it again.
Now, verse 11. Now no chastising for the present seemeth to be joyous.
What's chastising mean?
Punishment.
Like a discipline, right?
Discipline.
Now, and no chastising at the moment seems joyous. Read it again.
Now no chastising for the present seems joyous.
Go ahead.
Seems to be joyous. But grievous, nevertheless, afterward, it yielded the peaceful fruit.
Now, read it one more time. Let's break it down.
All right. Now no chastising for the present seemeth to be
now,
joyous.
If we keep playing this video, we'll see everybody crying. We'll see his mother crying. We'll see the family crying. We'll see the chastisement of our people. We'll see us getting beat. We'll see our backs getting beat. Our people getting unalived. I wish I could just talk straight in this class. I wish I could just talk straight. But we trying to censor this, so you know what I mean? It's like we trying to rap without cussing. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know how your kids in the back car trying to rap without cussing? They're like, wop, 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 doc. That's me right now, so y'all bear it with me. You know what I'm saying? Because this right here is something that I really want to talk about. So y'all just bear it with me with the edits and all of that. You know what I'm saying? But now in this case, this is us getting our backs beat. This is us getting whipped. This is us getting beat to death this is us getting beat to death because we whistled at a person. Because somebody thought that somebody looked nice. He complimented her and said she looked like a movie star. She was somebody that he thought to be pretty. And him saying that she was pretty got him unalived. Now, at this point in time, that's chastisement on us. Yeah, okay, we don't see it as joyous, but we said 2 weeks ago why Esau was created, right? Esau was here to be the what?
He's a whipping stick.
The belt.
The belt.
Esau is the belt. Esau is our whipping stick. He's the perfect belt. He's the nice one that you go in the closet to get, that you know the kids. He's the one that you wrap the electrical tape around. You know, I run here. I run know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? He's the one that you take good belt, right? Esau is the one that's hanging up in the closet by itself. The good belt, right? That's who Esau is for us. Esau is a perfect hunter. Esau is the perfect whipping stick for us. Now, in our case, the Lord has given us a beating. He has been since forever, to try to get us to understand that we should do the right thing. That's what we want to do with kids, right? When they acting up, you beat them with hopes that they'll get it right. That's what the Lord is doing for us. He's praying, hoping that we get it right. But as kids, we get back into the mess. We get right back into trouble. Right? Read one more time from the top.
Okay. This is the book of Hebrews, chapter 12, verse 11.
Go ahead.
Now no chastising for the present seemeth to be joyous.
Now no chastising for the present seem to be joyous. Go ahead.
but grievous, nevertheless.
It's grievous. This is something that I grieve at. We see this picture today. I wish y'all could see it online. When we see this picture today, it's something that I can barely look at. I can't even look at. Like I said, his skull fell off when they opened the casket. His head fell apart when they opened the casket. The mom put pictures of who he was, and they could see who he was and who he is today. And to make it so diabolical, is they tried them for murder, M1, and had all counts. They had witnesses that seen it. They had people that was there. They had the dad that saw them come in, and they know who took the person. They know where they took them to. Because the guy knew the barn. He seen them, put them in the truck, and take off. And then they found them later on. After all of that, they were still acquitted, not guilty. And then they was tried for kidnapping, and was acquitted, not guilty. That's what makes it so grievous, so diabolical. Keep going.
But grievous, nevertheless.
It's definitely grievous, nevertheless. Go ahead.
Afterward, it yieldeth to peaceful fruit of righteousness.
Now, if you righteous, if you smart, this is what yields the fruit. Because this is what's supposed to bring us together. This is supposed to be the key to link black people back together. When you see one of your own get unalived by the ops, when you see an act of war happen and you decide, I'm gonna just let it slide under the rug. Medgar Evers was here. Medgar Evers was one of the people that was around. Medgar Evers was unalived outside of his house too. We see the damage that happened after this in the 60s. How much carnage took place in the 60s. Because we was coming up against the oppressor. And the oppressor snuffed us out. By 1968, everybody was hooked to some kind of drug. By 70s, 80s, we all was on drugs or in jail. All of us. They destroyed us. That's what they did. Now, if you had any inkling of righteousness in you, it would bear good fruit. Today we would know, you know what? Look, our oppressor, they did such and such to Sandra. What's her name? Sandra? Not Sandra Bland. What's the one that just Sonia Massey, right? They just unalived Sonia Massey. They did George Floyd. They did Philando Castile. How they just treat our lives as if they cheap, right? You trying to pull out your wallet, or you trying to pull out a soda or a candy bar or your phone, and they fear for their life. They fear for their life because they know you the Lord's chosen people. They know what you're capable of. They know that they can't take their eyes off you. Think somebody being that scared of you. Think of somebody being that scared of you that they fear for you when you got a phone in your hand. They fear for their life when you got a candy bar in your hand and you 14 years old and you whistling at their wife. Think of how scared you have to be. Those are your cops. That's your detention officers, your correctional officers, your probation officers, and your parole officers. They scared to death, and they got their life in your hands. Keep going.
Yieldeth the peaceful fruit of righteousness unto them which are exercised by thereby.
Read it again.
Now chastising for the present seemeth to be joyous, but grievous nevertheless afterward it yieldeth the peaceful fruit of righteousness.
Right. So if you have any inkling of righteousness, you'll take this information and know that this is the stuff that we need. Some people say, I can't watch that. It's too much for me. It's too traumatic for me. It's something that I can't watch. It's not good for my spirit. That was back then, and those people were mean or whatever the case, nonetheless, right? But now today, that's not who we are. That's not who's around us. But this is supposed to be what you need to bring your spirit back. This is food for thought. This helps my spirit grow. When I see this type of stuff, I want to go to camp. I don't go in the drill. I don't go hit the block and shoot the block up. I go to camp and tear the concrete up. Because I'm going to speak to every Edomite about the heinous that they did to this brother right here. Look at this brother. 14 years old.
black boy in the American South could be quite perilous. The allegation that Emmett Till was being social with a white woman was considered an affront, a threat to the...
The allegation that Emmett Till was being social was considered a threat. And so now today, we call them our friends. We go to their bars and we go hang in their clubs. And we go to their schools and we go chill with them. You want to go out after work? You want to go have a drink? Not knowing that that could be your last drink. Not knowing that that could be your last day going out. Because you might say, oh, yeah, I like your shoes. And she takes offense to it. It's a book that I read by a woman called Robin DiAngelo. It's called White Fragility. I believe the White Fragility was her, or White Woman's Tears, right? And the power of a white woman's tears. When white women cry, people stop moving. A white woman crying is like a fire alarm. White fragility is when you say something that makes white people upset. You can't say anything concerning white people because you'll damage their feelings. And when you damage a white person's feelings, you must correct yourself. They can't correct themselves. That's white fragility. I can't say these things on camera because it offends white people or the oppressor. We can't talk the way we talk because our oppressor gets it. They're fragile. They wrote a book called White Fragility. Check it out. He whistled at her, and she felt threatened. Let's keep going.
Racial order. And I think the shock of his death was compounded by the brutality of his death.
Wouldn't it be crazy if you could create voiceovers that sound like a raspy old man?
A young teenage girl.
Or
Emmett's mother couldn't actually conform to the conventions of the time. She did something really quite remarkable.
So what the sister did was when her son, when they found their son, she told the state of Mississippi to send the body back up to Chicago. And when they sent the body back up to Chicago, she said that she wanted to have an open casket. And she invited Jet Magazine. And when Jet Magazine came, they took pictures and they publicized his funeral. At the funeral, about 10,000 people showed up to the funeral to see his brother and what they did to his brother. And they believe that this is what sparked the civil rights movement and Rosa Parks not getting off that bus. They believe this is what brought black people together. Let's keep going.
She made the really unorthodox choice of having a funeral with an open casket that was going to be very widely publicized, that was going to be attended by the national press. She wanted civil rights leaders and political leaders to see what they did to her child. She invited David Jackson and Jet Magazine to take pictures of this child's battered body. And these images were widely...
Look at his brother's face. The block they had was to hold his head because it was falling apart. Look at his face. I don't know if y'all can see it online. Let me see if y'all can see it online. Can you see it online? Can you zoom in? I don't know if you can zoom in. Can you zoom in to his brother's face? See it? Yeah, that's what I need. Look at this brother's face. Look at the hatred that they felt for him because he whistled at that woman. They look at a fake head. The fear that they felt by him whistling to that woman. They wanted so much power. They wanted you to bow down to them so much that they take a boy who's 15 years old and they do this to him. And the sad thing about it is they had brothers with him too. They have brothers that help them beat him like this. Brothers, his own brothers. It's just sad that you can do this to a person because of their skin color, because of who they are. We don't do anything to our oppressor. What do we do to the oppressor to be treated like this? What do we say to our oppressor to make them feel this way about us? This was somebody's son. This was somebody's brother. This was somebody's nephew, somebody's friend, cousin. He was only that. And today, we got the gumption or the balls to call an Edomite our friend. Not only that, let me get to that later.
Jet magazine was a publication that was primarily produced and distributed to the African American community that had been trying to educate the rest of the country about the horrors of segregation and racial violence and lynching in the American South. And the images were really, really challenging. It was the kind of visual that you didn't typically see.
Shout out to her. And the balls to go against our president. For having the balls to go against Esau. And what happened was when they went to trial, when they went to court with this, the brother pointed out, that's him right there. And they said it's the first time it had ever been done, maybe in the whole South. But surely in Mississippi, he said, who came to your door that night? They said, him. He came to my door that night. He took the young brother, and they took him away. Still was acquitted. First time it had ever been done. An 18-year-old boy, another one, risked his life to say he did it. And then they had to skip town and leave just so they could survive. Give me, what you got? Oh, give me Amos 1 and 11. By the end of the Old Testament, around like after Daniel. Got it? Yeah.
This is the book of Amos, chapter 1, verse 11. Thus saith the Lord, for the transgressions,
So 3 transgressions.
for 3 transgressions of Edom, and for I will turn away the punishment thereof.
Read that again.
Verse 11. Thus saith the Lord, for 3 transgressions of Edom, and for 4 I will turn not, I will not turn away the punishment thereof.
The Lord said, for the transgressions of Edom, he will not turn away the punishment. Now for us, the Lord gave us forgiveness. The Lord gave us a chance to redeem ourselves. The Lord gave us a chance of salvation because we the children of Israel. But Esau, he said, I will not turn away their punishment. Go ahead.
Because he did not, because he did pursue his brother with the sword.
Listen, man. That's the beauty of this Bible. And that's the beauty of what the Lord got for us. We don't got to go harm an Edomite. We don't got to go harm a hair on his head. Because the Lord said that he's going to pursue and the Lord said he's going to exact the punishment on Esau. Keep reading. Matter of fact, keep reading. I don't want to give it to you. Keep reading.
And did cast off all pity, and his anger did tear perpetually, and he kept his wrath forever.
Now the Lord said he's going to keep his wrath forever. The Lord said he's going to give them what they gave us. That's probably a later scripture. The Lord said he's going to give them exactly what they gave to us. That's going to be the beauty in it. When you see them suffer the way you suffered, just imagine somebody harmed your brother like this. Just imagine somebody did something like this to your brother, right? And you know who it was. Can you imagine how you would feel when you watch the same thing happen to them? In your mind, you will know that's justice. The Lord is just. The Lord is perfect because he's going to make sure that they get paid for their crimes because they was never acquitted. They walked away as free men and nothing ever happened to them. And the white woman, like in the Edomite woman, so the Edomite woman, they said, what happened? She was like, yeah, he came in, he grabbed my arm, and then he grabbed my shoulder, and then he was like, yeah, don't worry, it's not my first time. And then he bent me over, and then he grabbed my hands and put them behind my back, and he said, don't worry, I've been with a white woman before. That's what the woman said. She lied. I understand. And she just came out maybe like 5 years ago and told the world that she lied. Which we all know. Now, why does this matter 80 years later? This matters because it's still happening to us today. And now I'm going to flip the script, right? We do it to ourselves today. Because I can play 5 songs, not related, 5 different cities, and they'll do this to their brother. And then make a song about it. And the same oppressors that did this to Emmett Till will laugh at us. They'll probably get on a remix. That's our problem as blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Everybody hates us. And we've learned to hate ourselves. We've learned to kill ourselves the way that they do because we've taken on the spirit of the oppressor. We've taken their spirit and become our father, the devil. And if you got any bit of righteousness in you, this should yield good fruit. But instead, rap about killing the ops and sliding down their block and, you know what I mean, putting 5, 10 holes in them and how their mom born greed. It was a story in Philly where the woman came down and shot the brother. Boom, 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 boom. Right? Shot the brother, and he was with his woman, and she was holding a baby. Right? So she shot the brother. Boom, boom, boom. He get up and start running. She turned around and shot at the woman holding the baby. She was a dyke. She turned around and shot the woman holding the baby, but missed and hit the baby. Right? So the woman starts screaming, my baby, my baby. And the woman says, F your baby, B. F your baby. This is how we feel about each other. I wish I had some books from my house. If y'all know me, y'all know I got the books at the crib. I wish I had the books, The American Dilemma. I wish I had the Negro Project in America. I wish I had the religious instructions of the Negroes in America. I wish I had many books from my house right now. But this is how we treat each other today. We do this to each other. We Emmett Till our own brothers. We Emmett Till our own sons. And you see how she's crying over that casket? We make our sisters cry over caskets just like that. We make our aunties and mothers cry over caskets just like that. Because we see the life of the streets and how it's so alluring. How the allure of the streets and the money and the drugs and the gangsters and the criminals, how their life is so promising. And we want to be just like them. And the only way to run with them is if you catch a body. So we run out in the streets and whatever city you from, you might be from West Coast. To throw on that color, you gotta go unalive somebody. And you go do it so you can be with this gang or this group of people. In Philadelphia, it's something similar. In order to roll with them, you gotta be like them. It's initiation. So you have to go unalive somebody. The ops. Because they made a Facebook post. Or because they said something about you on Instagram. Because they rapped about you in the song. That's no different than them whistling at a white woman. It's small. It's petty. But us as black people, we take offense to it. Just like they did. And we grow to become our oppressor. It's a spirit that we take on. The spirit that we take on is the oppressor's spirit. And understanding is how we free ourselves. Right? What scripture did I call for? Read it. It's what? Yo.
This is the book of Amos, chapter 1, verse 11. Thus saith the Lord, for 3 transgressions of Eden, and for 4, I will I will not turn away the punishment thereof.
Now, the scriptures say, come out of her, my people, so that you won't reap their punishment, so that you won't obtain their punishments. So when you do what they've done, the Lord said that he will not forgive you because you've become them. And so when he come looking for us on this earth, he'll find you with them, rapping about sliding on the ops. I wish I could play a song. You know what? Just because I'm gonna just play a song, just so you just know what I'm talking about. And it's not up for discussion. It's not something that you think I'm just, you know what I mean? I'm gonna just play a song. Give me any song. Any song.
We took him on the chase. Lil got hit in this shit cause he was in the wrong place. I like the mini Michael drip, bro. I don't want that long K. Money, 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 money. That's just what my phone say. Like, just shut up, eat the dick, cause bitch, I had a long day. Nigga did.
That's us today. That's us today. It's disgusting. It's sad. Because us, as the older generation, as my brother Shar said in his last song on his album, y'all go check out that Sharface too. That joint on fire. That last song on Sharface, he said the older generation destroyed the younger generation. Think about what Snoop Dogg and what Lil Wayne and what Nas, but what those type of people have done to our generation. They've destroyed us. Why? Because they didn't give us the jewels or the gems to grow. They didn't give us what we need to be a better people. They gave us how to smoke weed, how to dress half naked, and look with our shirt off and tight pants, and how to be half a God, half a Islam, half a nigga that want to be great. Just half. All you gotta do is rap about it. If you rap about it, you cool. But you don't want to go be nothing. What did Nas do for anybody? We ever see Nas outside doing something? He just rapped about it. What did Rakim do? He had a God body and the 365 and I revolve. What did he do? You don't see Rakim outside talking to people and helping nobody. They did nothing. They was just talking. Snoop Dogg was just smoking and making gang look good. Everybody from the West Coast was making the gangs look good. Today we make the homicides in America look good. We make you want to go do it. Jeezy made us want to sell drugs. I remember when Jeezy first came out. Last time I checked, I was the man in them streets. Remember Jeezy? Remember when Jeezy first came out? When Jeezy first came out, he made you want to go outside. That was our teachers. Those were the generation before me. And they shaped us into the men that we became. It's our fault. Him being the way he is, that rapper dude, it's my fault. It's your fault. And if we don't change it today, we'll have more of them. More mothers crying. More kids getting their head knocked off because of something so small. Keep going. What you got? Shout out to DeWarrior Island. If you watching DeWarrior Island, shout out to you. Go ahead.
Right. I will not turn away the punishment thereof, because he did not slacken, because he did pursue his brother with the sword,
What?
and did cast off all pity.
What does that mean? Cast off all pity.
He disregarded. He didn't have no pity.
He had no care in the world. And the problem is that's who we've become today. That's the parallel. And that's what I want us to notice today. Not only did they do something to us, not only did they treat us this way, we've adopted the same spirit. And they put it in us to do their bidding. Those men today, don't gotta come outside to go get Emmett Till, because we'll do it again gladly. Just like it was brothers there then, those brothers was controlled by those Edomites. The same way we controlled by them Edomites today. But they're not here with us. They just sit back and watch us do it to ourselves. They watch it on the phone. Just watch us do it to ourselves. That's how sad it is. That's the parallel between us and them. And if we can fix it as priests and prophets and officers and captains of the Lord, and we can change the black community. We can fix the black community. Mothers don't gotta cry, and brothers don't gotta die. Fathers don't gotta cry, and women don't gotta die. Because no one would have nothing to prove, especially to an Edomite. Listen, the Lord gonna deal with them. Just don't be there when he deals with them. Be over here. Be on this side. Because this where it's safe at. Keep going.
And his anger did tear perpetually,
Go ahead.
and he kept his wrath forever.
All right, I'm about to read a long one. Give me Ezekiel 35 and 5.
This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 35, verse 5. Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred, and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity.
In the time of their what?
In the time of their calamity.
Calamity meaning what?
Destruction.
Yeah. The time of our sadness, the time of our limitations. That's what the most damage to us. That's when they shed our bloods. And then you know what they say? They say when there's blood in the streets, buy the property. They know how to destroy us. They know that all you gotta do is give them sprinkle some crack, you know what I'm saying? Give them some guns, let them kill each other, and then buy the property. And then in a little bit you can gentrify it, move them out, put them somewhere else, and then put them in the even denser population, and they'll just do it again. All you gotta do is keep piling them on top of each other until at one they're in a small little microcosm or a center of the city or some place like Zone 3 or Zone 5 in Houston, Texas, or like West, North, or whatever part of Philly. And then once you get them in a little tiny space, they'll just unalive each other. And then we'll just live around them. What they know. They had a perpetual hatred, and during the time of our calamities, we so poor, when we destroy, when we feeling the pain and the destruction, when we feeling the hell, that's when they do the most damage. But that's when us as black people gotta know that, okay, when times get hard, we should go harder. Yeah. When you dedicate your life to the Most High, and you go harder for the Lord, he's gonna give you a way out. He always leave a way out. There's always an escape door to get out of your hell. Who that? Somebody knocking on the door? Who? There's always an escape route. For the Most High always gave us an escape route. So us as Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, we gotta understand that the Lord is gonna give us that opportunity to escape from the hell. But as long as we continue to do what we've been doing, then we'll continue to fall into our troubles. It's not so it's a little crazy. You know what I mean? But I mean, where was we at? Perpetual hatred. We in Ezekiel 35 and 5. Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred, and has shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity, and the time of their iniquity had no end, had an end. It's like it. And in that time their iniquity had an end. Keep going, read what you got. Read verse 5 again. Yeah.
This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 35, verse 5.
Good.
Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred, and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel.
So like he says, you got any questions? You know what we talking about tonight? Yeah. So we went over how he was unalive, and he from Chicago, went down to Mississippi to visit. And when he was visiting, he whistled at a Edomite woman. And the Edomite woman felt threatened, and she got her husband and his half-brother, and they came and grabbed his body 3 days later, and they beat him to a plum seed, and then threw him in the river. And then when they found him, they tried the people for won and kidnapping, and it was acquitted of all charges. Yeah, she said later on that he's never done it. She made it up, and we even said that when they was in court, and she was like, how he do it? What did he do? She's like, he grabbed my hand like this, and he touched my shoulder like that, and he said, but it's not my first time with a white woman, and he did what he did, and she lied in court. That's contempt of court, and she's never tried either. You know what I mean? So, and then after that, the Edomite sold the story to a magazine and got $4,000 in 1955. That's like, it's a lot of money in 55. I think minimum wage is like $1. So that's like minimum wage today is like $11. So just times that by 11. Minimum wage in Texas is $7. So just times that by like 7. 4 times 7 is 28. That's almost $28,000. $28,000. So almost $30,000 to sell this story. You know what I mean? So that's a quick recap of what we got when we talking about tonight. And really the problem is that we have an oppressor who's always been oppressing us. But the problem with us is that we've adopted their spirit. We've adopted who they are, and we unalive Emmett Till today by ourselves, and then we rap about it, and then we make songs about it and videos about it, and it's a game to us. How they doing in Philly, Chicago, and all these cities? It's a game to us now. Yeah, so now they unaliving and they thinking that we do whatever to A, B, and C down the corner, and you never got your get back. Yeah, these kids is going crazy. Like in Philly, some dude, they just gave him 43 to 85, and he was in the camera after he got sent. Or before he got sent, he in the camera with a shake in his hand, talking about, I mean, regardless, I'm still gonna be who I'm gonna be. These kids got no care in the world, and that's because they've adopted this spirit, and they'll make Emmett Till happen time and time over again. Because they don't feel the same way that we should feel about each other. They feel how those Edomites feel. They don't care. If they get acquitted and walk away from the charges, they'll say, free him. Free such and such. That's our problem today as blacks and Hispanics and Native Americans. We've adopted Edomite culture, adopted their spirit, and now we just kill each other. Alright? So we're going to watch a little bit more of this.
You certainly didn't see it outside of a war zone, and you certainly didn't see it with children. His face was grotesque. You could see eyes which...
His mother put this in the magazine. Look at this brother's face. If y'all at home, y'all could just minimize the video and go look at Emmett Till's face on Google Images. It looked like Play-Doh. It looked like clay, like they molded his face together. And the mother said she wanted everybody to see what they did to her child. She wanted the whole world to see what they did to her child.
You couldn't really distinguish all of his facial features. That's how much violence he had been subjected to. And its mother's presence in the photo is really important because she's really giving witness to victimization and violence. The other images that Emmett's mother provided just created this notion of a very respectable young boy who was trying to make the very best impression on everyone he met. The juxtaposition of a little boy in a suit and a tie with his battered face was a stark image that made it really impossible for anyone who saw it.
Y'all can't read, y'all can't hear the video online. Give us, tell us in the chat. Right. Keep reading what you got,
Shed the blood of the children of Israel by force of the sword in the time of their calamity, in the time that in the time that their iniquity had an end. Verse 6. Therefore, as I live.
In the time where iniquity had to end, when we had the time when we could have get it right. We had the time when we could have changed it and got better with ourselves. In the time when our iniquity had to end, that's the time that they killed us the most. We could have fixed it. We could have changed it. But instead, we ran into our oppressor, which we know is the whooping stick that you said earlier. We ran into our oppressor, and they treated us as if we were not the children of the Most High. And that's only because we treat ourselves as if we are not the children of the Most High. And it's a double-edged sword. Because if we was in the right place, we wouldn't have had to deal with this. If Emmett Till knew who the oppressor was, he would never whistle at her. He would never say, oh, you look nice today. He would never give her the props that she, you know what I'm saying, I guess he felt like she needed or whatever the case may be. He would never give her those props because he knew that his sister deserved it more than she did. If he would have knew the right thing, if his mother would have taught him the right way, we wouldn't be hearing about the story. And so moving forward, if we taught our children the right way, we'll never have to hear the story again. We'll never see a young brother dying at the hands of a young brother, or a young brother dying at the hands of an Edomite, because you've been protected by the cover of the Lord. That's what we got to learn, how we fix ourselves. This is how we fix the black community. They got all these questions about how you change it. How can you change the black community? It's simple. Problems like this is what has been happening since the 50s, the 30s, since slavery. These same problems have been happening since slavery. And the only way to fix it is to just know who you are. And just change the way you act. If we could change the way we act, if we could change the way we act towards one another, then we can change the trajectory of our future. The kids coming up behind us. Because you can't act one way and then tell somebody to act another way. It don't work that way. You know what I'm saying? So you can't act like a gangster and tell kids to not be a gangster. Or you can't act like you smoke weed and then tell kids not to smoke weed. Or you can't act like you want to pimp hoes and tell kids not to pimp hoes. The only way you can do that is if you change your life and become a better person, like we've all done in the UPK. We've all gave that life that we lived. That man died with Christ. That woman died with Christ. They hung together on that cross. And when Christ gave his life up, I took on his burden. And I said, you know what? I'm going to live the life that he couldn't live. That's my duty. That's your duty. Y'all got to live the life that he couldn't live because he gave his life for you to live his. Which is why we say in the name of Christ. Because we can only live because Christ died. That's our job. And so today, we're watching this brother who was also unalive. So now we should also take on that same burden for him and teach our children not to be him. Because this is the fruit that we need to grow. This is how we can grow. By seeing the problems, seeing the issues with our community, and changing. The word repent means to stop. To no longer do it. The word baptize means to clean yourself. Or to no longer do it. And as long as we can baptize ourselves and be different people, we ain't got to see this no more. Hey, Shalom, Lord Christ. Y'all got any questions in the classroom? Any questions online? Keep going, Yaqabat.
Verse 6. Therefore, as I live, saith the Lord, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee.
Now, this is what he told Esau. He said, therefore, as I live, I will prepare thee unto blood. Esau is going to pay for what he's done. Esau will pay for what he's done. I remember a couple weeks ago, somebody asked, can we harm Esau? Or can we harm an Edomite? The Lord is promising us that he's going to pay. He's going to pay for what he did to Emmett Till. But until then, what do we got to do? You got to do like Ezekiel was told. Go teach. Go learn about the Bible. Go learn about George Floyd. Go learn about the Emmett Tills. And go learn about what they've done to our community. And the more and more we learn about it, the more and more we can teach each other. And we build the army. And that day when the Lord decides to exact judgment on Esau, everything is in place. That's your job today. Your job ain't to go unalive an Edomite. You're not going to do anything. You're going to take one person's life. You're going to steal one person's life, and it ain't going to change nothing. You're going to get put in jail or look like this the next day. And then we're going to be like, damn, he was a good man. He was a good brother. You won't do anything. But if you can go out on that street corner and you could talk to 50 million people on the internet or talk to 20 people walking by, you can change somebody's life today or tomorrow. And they can hear you just like they heard me. I mean, just like I heard them. Standing on the corner, smoking a blunt. In Center City, and I heard Soccer War talking. Shout out to Soccer War. And when I heard those words, literally I was smoking a blunt. I put the blunt out on my boot, and I walked up to listen. And there was another brother, it was an Islam cat, that was yelling at the camp. And while he yelling at the camp, I was listening to them, and I was listening to him, and I felt like he was wrong. And I wanted to exact justice on him because of what he was saying. I didn't know Soccer War. I had no idea who he was. But I just felt like they was right. Soccer War was like, nah, come to class. You don't got nothing of that, brother. Come to class. And when he said that, he changed my life. That's our job. Because if it wasn't for Soccer War, who knows what I could have done that day or the next day. I could have started a war that day. I don't know who that brother was. That's our job. He saved my life. And then I came to class, and every day, he saved my life. Now I'm here. That's the job. Because if I would have went outside and hit somebody or shot somebody or whatever the case may be, it would have just been 2 dead niggas. 2 mothers crying. 2 fathers crying. 2 families that's mourning each other. No. Our job is bigger than that. As Blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans, we got to train up the generation so we don't have no more of them dudes we just listen to rapping on the microphone. Should I play it again? Should I play it again? I'm gonna play it one more time so we can hear this dude rapping on the microphone.
He just made it this is time to catch another Vic. Go dig your brother up, cause you know Danny been a bitch. Ain't gonna.
He just said it's time to catch another Vic. Go dig your brother up, cause your brother been a B. Yeah, he's arrested for his life. He got arrested for 2 murders. He's gone. That's who we're trying to save. That's our job. Don't be him. Emmett Till died so you can be alive. Emmett Till had to go through this so you can sit in these seats. Emmett Till was the old you. Emmett Till was somebody that you should want to put away. Because that's the Lord telling us that he's going to take your life from you if you don't listen to him. Emmett Till wanted to go speak to an oppressor. And when he spoke to them, he opened up the door for the oppressor to come in. He opened up the door for a demon. And that demon took his life. We should learn from the people that fell before us. Because Esau is the perfect sword, the perfect belt, and he will destroy you. So as we learn to become better people, we learn to ward off those demons, to fight off those devils. And when we fight those devils, you'll find the Lord has a place for you. The Lord's going to give you everything you need. People that passed before, you'll meet their spirit again. You meet somebody like, damn, you remind me of, that's the Lord giving you a chance. Your grandma may have passed, your brother. A lot of brothers passed. A lot of brothers found the truth. But the Lord's going to make sure you meet that brother again. You're going to meet that sister again. Or whoever she was. Your grandma, you're going to meet an older sister like, hey, you remind me of my grandma. The Lord is going to give it to you. It's coming. All you got to do is hold the line. Just don't fall short. And I don't want to be preaching, but I want y'all to understand the point. The point is that we killing each other now. That's what we doing to each other. Y'all see this brother face? Today, they walk down on people. That's what they call it. They walk down on them. His brother's getting shot 60 times. Some brother got shot 60 times walking out of the jailhouse. They let him out of jail. They shot that brother 60 times in front of the jail. And then made a song about it. Like, what have we become?
About the backstory or whatever like that, but this little boy, we don't celebrate birthdays, but this little boy is having like a birthday party, so it's like kids and stuff everywhere or whatever like that. But this group of men, like they was like searching for somebody, I guess, and they did a drive-by on a birthday party, and a kid ended up getting shot. Like there was a party full of kids, and they decided to do a drive-by at the birthday party.
Yeah, that's regular. They just shot up a block party with 100 people in Philly. They shoot up parties, everything. Why? Because who cares? They don't care about who's in the house. And you think about a people like that, and then you think about the job that you have. That's their job. You know, when you go outside, your job is to talk to them every day and get them to come sit in these seats and say that, you know, the oppressor is the devil. Say that, you know, that old man died and I'm becoming somebody new. That becomes our job. But we can't do that if we keep that old man. If we keep that old spirit becomes familiar with them. And if their demon outrank you, you'll bow to their demon. You understand? Let's keep going. What was we at?
And blood shall pursue thee.
Good.
Sith.
Drop down to what time is it? 21? Drop down to 24.
24? Okay.
Yeah, go ahead. Hold on.
Hold on.
Jeremiah 49 and 17.
Jeremiah.
Hold on a
Chapter.
second.
Sir?
But go ahead, read Jeremiah.
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 49, 17. Also, Edom shall be a desolation. Everyone that goeth by it shall be astonished.
Read it again.
Also, Edom shall be a desolation.
This is the Lord giving us a prophecy on Edom, or the prophecy on the land, or the people of Esau. The people of Edom, which is Esau, right? The Lord said Edom gonna be what?
A desolation.
Now, we're not gonna have to deal with these people. One day these people aren't gonna be here anymore. And when these people are here no more, it'll just be us. And the problems that we've created, the problems that we gotta live with, and the problems that we gotta deal with. And if we can't fix those problems as a people, we'll carry those problems into our land. But those people, those Edomites, they're gonna be gone. Keep going.
Everyone that goeth by it shall be astonished. and shall hiss at all the plagues thereof.
Man, we're gonna see Esau or the land of Edom, and we're gonna be like, man, that's crazy. We're gonna be astonished at how Edom looked, because one day, in Isaiah it said, we're gonna narrowly look and say, is this the man that weakened the nations? Is this the man that has so much might he can harm one of us and get away with it? Twice? Is that the same man that did that to us? And then wild and made us all do drugs? And made us all crack babies? And made us all rap about songs about killing? Is that the man that did that? One day, he's going to be destroyed. He's going to be wiped off the face of the earth. And we're going to look at him astonished like, damn. Look what happened to Esau. We're going to hiss at the plagues. Like, what happened to them? Like today, think about it. Egypt was once, the Sphinx, right? The little animal thing? That was once waterfront property. Grass, the trees, nice. It was like I don't want to say a forest, but it was like oasis is the best way to put it. The Sphinx was on the waterfront. Today, it's a dust bowl. Because we see the plagues that took Egypt. Now we hiss at the plagues like, damn, nobody want to go to Egypt because it's just desert. The pyramids was once an oasis. Once on grass and all kind of stuff. But today is just dust. Because we see what the Lord did to Egypt. We was in Egypt longer than we was in America. We was in Egypt for 500 years. We only been in America for like 200. We was 400. So, we still got more time left. We still got a 100-year bid left. But one day, the Lord gonna deal with our oppressor. We're gonna be out of it again. He's gonna deliver us from the land of the north. And when we get to that place, read it again.
Also Edom shall be a desolation. Everyone that goeth by it shall be astonished, and hiss at all the plagues thereof.
Let's go back to Ezekiel. It's 25 and 12.
This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 25, verse 12. Lord God.
Let's say who?
Thus saith the Lord God.
Go ahead.
Because that Edom hath dealt against the house of Judah by taking vengeance.
So the Lord said, because Edom had took vengeance against Judah. Now, mind you, from the beginning, y'all familiar with the story of Jacob and Esau, right? So, Edom, first of all, the spirit of Cain was reincarnated into Esau, right? Just like Christ had 5 reincarnations, Cain had a reincarnation. The children of Cain said, okay, if Cain killed, teammate was his name, they said if Cain killed somebody and got forgiven sevenfold, and surely I should be given 70 times 7. That was the children of Cain. That spirit came back in Edom. Now, Edom was banished from the land, and Judah had a beef because of what was done. So now, Esau, which is the people, Esau means wasted away. Esau means red, but Edom means wasted away. His name became Edom, which is wasted away, right? The Lord, his name means wasted away. Esau means red, right? So now, the Lord said Edom, or Esau, his vengeance against Judah. And they was only beefing with us because we got what Esau gave away. Esau just said, he said, you know what? You can have it. Just give me the pottage. Give me the red porridge or whatever it was. Give it to me. I'm hungry. He came out the field, ate the bloody meat, said, you can have the birthright. Take it. It's yours. Just give me the food. Give it away. So when Judah got it, or when Jacob got it, right, he said, all right, bet. No sweat. Now, later on in life, he actually got it. He probably didn't know that was going to happen like that. But when he got it, it was his. Esau gave it away. So now they beefing. When Esau gets banished and Esau goes into wherever he's at now, whenever Jacob or whenever Israel try to cross through, they'll pick off the old or the weak. Amalek pick off the old or the weak, and now the people that was in the back, they'll kill them. And it became something that it's like Bloods and Crips, bickering with each other. So now Esau took vengeance on Jacob or us because of who we were and who we became. That's where we are today. Keep going.
And hath greatly offended and revenged himself upon them. Verse 13. Therefore, thus saith the Lord God, I will also stretch out my hand upon Edom, and will cut off.
Where you at again?
Ezekiel chapter 25 and 13.
Go ahead.
Therefore saith the Lord God, I will also stretch out mine hand upon Edom, and will cut off man and beast from it.
The Lord said he's going to cut Edom off or Esau off. So we need to know as a people that they want to pay for what they did. But you should not be around them when they pay. We don't need to be a part of that plague when they do pay. Because when that time comes, you will have to answer to somebody. You will have to answer to whoever. You know, if it's us, we answer to Christ and the Most High. And if women, you might answer to your husband or the Most High, or Christ or the Most High. Children got to answer to their parents. That's the way it goes. Right? Keep going.
And I will make it desolate from Teman, and they of Dedan shall fall by the sword.
Lord just gave us a prophecy of what's going to happen to Edom. All right, give me Obadiah 1 and 8.
This is the book of Obadiah 1 verse 8. Shall I not in that day, saith the Lord, even destroy the wise men out of Edom, and understanding out of the mount of Esau?
Break it down. What that mean?
He's pretty much asking a question. That's what he looks for.
And what is he saying?
He's pretty much asking, is he going to destroy Esau?
Right. So, okay. Now, okay. Think about it like this. If we was not in class, right, we could do this Bible all day, right? We could really dig deep into this Bible, right? So when the Lord said he's going to destroy the mountains of Esau, Mount Seir, right? When he said he's going to take away Esau and cut him off as a people, when he's going to wipe away even the beast of Esau, everything of Esau, right? And now he's saying, read it again.
Shall I not in that day, saith the Lord, even destroy the wise men out of Edom?
What does that mean?
He's going to kill off the men of Edom?
Okay, yeah, like, okay, the leaders, the wisdom of Edom, or the people that are people who you come to seek knowledge from, wisdom and information, he's going to even destroy them, right? So not only the beasts and the men, he's going to take away the wisdom of Esau, just totally wipe Esau out. Yeah, the dukes, they would call them the dukes. All right, so when you read about the lineage of Esau, all the Edomites was named Duke of something. You know what I'm saying? Like, Duke is like their highest rank or some sort like that. And then think of like president. Does somebody not remember? Oh, think of like president, right? So the Lord said he's going to take away even the wise men of Esau, the people that are men of renown, like, you know what I mean, like Trump or Vladimir Putin, or the people that give down the orders. Keep going.
and understanding out of the mount of Esau.
Understanding out of the mount of Esau. The mount is the government, right? So he's going to take away all the knowledge out of the government of Esau. That's what the Lord is saying. He's going to break Esau down to nothing. And then when we see Esau, we're going to look at him in the about the plagues that the Lord that did to Esau. Right? So as he said, we're going to narrowly look and say, this is the man that did what he did to the nations. Now the nations being us. We one of the nations. Alright? Any more on that? Yeah, keep going.
Go to verse 9.
Yeah. No, matter of fact, drop down to 18.
And the house of Jacob shall be a fire, and the house of Joseph a flame, and the house of Esau for a stubble.
Meaning what? Meaning what?
It's the house of Esau is finna get destroyed.
Give me more. Give me more.
Esau is gonna get destroyed using Jacob.
Stubble is basically like dried out grain, and so the Most High is going to use Joseph and Jacob to basically light a fire to Esau and destroy them. Maybe.
Esau is going to be the stubble. Esau is going to be the shrubbery.
Right. You said Esau gonna be the what?
Esau is the stubble.
Right.
Esau
And-
is the leaves and the bushes. And
Yeah.
Esau is the branches.
And so,
Kindling. And what does kindling do to a fire? It feeds a fire. And who's the fire?
Jacob and Joseph.
What does it mean?
They gonna raise this guy.
No. They're not. Don't think they're going to raise us.
No, raise.
They're going to enrage us, right? We're going to
Enrage us.
grow
Yeah.
because of them.
Yeah.
Just like they grew because of us. Because we fed their fire. We fed them. And they became a flame. They became a fire. They became great. And they took over the earth because we fed them. We made them a stronger people. So now we tried to uprise during this time. And they stomped us out. Completely. So by the 70s, you had no iota of this movement ever existing. You had the black nationalists, but they didn't do anything. Niggas was getting high. Islam was getting high. So us trying to become somebody, they stomped it out. We didn't get a fire. They didn't feed our fire. And when they did feed our fire, they stomped it out. Why? Because they were stronger than us. They were bigger than us. But one day, it ain't going to be the case. They're going to feed our fire. And when they feed our fire, we're going to spread like a wildfire. Keep going.
And they shall kindle in them and devour them.
Good.
And there shall not be any remaining of the house of Esau.
Now, like a fire consumes the stubble, we're going to consume them in the fire. That's going to be what's going to happen to Esau. Now, y'all could go home and watch the movie or watch whatever Emmett Till, because Emmett Till was unalived this month. I ain't do the math, but in 55, whatever that meant. What year is this? About 25? Almost 7 years ago. Almost 7 years ago, right? 7 years ago. So this brother was unalived about 7 years ago, right? And nothing ever happened to him. Nobody ever got took into trial. We tried to start a movement, but it died. And here today, we trying to get that fire back going. But to get that fire, we We need to know what's the kindle. What causes us to make a fire? Esau is that fire. Once again, in Jeremiah, it said Judas is a lion whelp, or Judah or Israel is like a lion whelp. He's like a young lion, playful, ready. But when the problem comes, we like an old lion. We want to deal with the problem. This is our kindle. This is supposed to feed your spirit. Feed the fire. You look at stories like this, and this should make you want to do more. It should make you want to be better. Be somebody that's going to change. So this never happens to any of your brothers. This is the ticket out. That feeling that you feel when you watch Emmett Till, or when you see something happen to the sister, Massey, Sonya Massey, or when you see what happened to brothers like, the brothers that was unalived in the past couple years. When you see that, you see the pain that they mothers felt, or that they brothers felt, it should put a fire in you. And Esau is the kindle. And if we all share the same fire, they can't stop us. They won't be big enough. But today we have a small group of people, and they're bigger. They got governments. But the Lord just said, our fire is going to wipe out their government. Our fire is going to destroy their wise men. That's what our fire will do. And it will bear good fruit. This is the fruit that we need to survive. This is the knowledge or the information we need to be better people. We got to feed this spirit and separate ourselves from them. Because otherwise, you'll just be a little rapping nigga. Rapping about shooting the block up. And then they lock you up and you're doing 50 to 100 years. And that's not a fake number. That's what they giving them. They giving them 50 to 100 years, double life. My brother sold some heroin. He sold it to an Edomite, actually to an Edomite. And when the Edomite took the drugs and passed away, they gave him 20 to 40 for manslaughter. Now he buys it and sells it. Don't make it. But when he bought it and sold it, he's now the reason that that person is not here no more. Manslaughter. 20 to 40. But if he was never in that situation, he would never be there. So our job is to save our community. Save the black community. Save the mothers from crying. Save the brothers from dying. Save the sisters from being prostitutes and being out there unalived because they trying to use their box as a way to make them money. Like a brother going to use his hands to make him some money. A sister's going to use her box to make her some money. That's the only way that we can make profit of ourselves. But in today's time, we got brothers, we got sisters, we got people. I don't know if she said it in this interview, but she said, I knew if I brought it to the public, then they will fight for me. Any questions online? Anybody making any questions in the room? Any questions in the room? Then they will fight for me. So us as blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, we got a job to do. We got a people to save. Alright? Give me keep reading on this. Is there any more in the scripture?
For the Lord hath spoken it. That's it. I don't.
Give me Deuteronomy 32 and 35.
This is Deuteronomy 32, verse 35. To me belongeth vengeance and recompense. Their foot shall slide in due time.
What's the Most High saying? Break it down. It's the ball, right?
The dog.
dog. All right.
Okay.
Break it down.
The whatever happens, whatever happens, the Lord is gonna do it to him.
Okay, this is what you're trying to do. All right. See how you read this? What you want to do is translate it to today's English, right? So what you want to do is be a interpreter for the Bible. So some people don't understand it, which is why you come to school to understand it,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
You learn it, and then when people ask you questions, you were able to interpret the Bible. You interpret the parables of Christ. You interpret the secrets of the Bible, and you interpret the word that people can't understand, right? So when we ask you to break it down, we're asking you to use the knowledge that you gathered to interpret the words that's in the Bible, right? So when you say basically, it's just like basically what they saying is, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
When you say it's like they saying what you really want to say is this what the Bible is saying because you had the authority to do so.
Okay.
Pastors don't have that authority. Deacons and bishops, they don't have that authority. You outrank them. So use your knowledge the way you should. All right?
Okay.
So read it again.
Deuteronomy 32, verse 35.
Go ahead.
To me belongeth vengeance,
Who's speaking? Who's speaking?
the Lord,
Okay, to me belongeth vengeance. Go ahead.
and recompense.
What's that mean?
Recompense?
Look it up. Good job. Most on credit.
Make amends to someone for loss or harm suffered.
Make amends for loss or harm suffered. So they're going to pay for it, right? So
Okay.
they're going to pay the Lord. The Lord is going to deal with them, right? He's going to make vengeance and recompense. They're going to pay, and he's going to exact justice. Go ahead.
Their foot shall slide in due time.
Meaning what?
The Lord is going to get vengeance for the Lord is going to get vengeance to what was done to us in due time.
Your foot shall slip.
The foot shall
Or
slide.
slide.
I'm not sure how to.
Okay, think they got a... Okay, in every sport, your footing or your stance is important, right? Football, basketball, even you pivot, boxing for sure. In many sports, your footing or your stance is important, right?
Okay.
So when their foot slides or when they slide, what happens?
You get off balance,
They'll lose
possibly.
balance, right?
Huh.
So the Lord said they're going to lose balance or they're going to slip at some point, right?
Okay.
Vengeance is mine, saith the Lord. He's going to take recompense and vengeance. They foot going to slide at some point. Go ahead.
Their foot shall slide in due time. For the day of their calamity
What?
For the day of their calamity is at hand.
And when that foot slides, they're in trouble. That's the day of their calamity. And you'll see their foot slide because you'll see America fall. You'll see their strongholds fall. You'll see the things that they once had that they were big, renowned, or there was their watchtowers or whatever today would be called their Pentagons, their White Houses, Capitol Hill, those things that were the foundation, right? The foundation will fall. And when the foundation falls, their calamity is at hand. We've been in calamity since Christ died. Before that, since Solomon. We've been in hell since Solomon, right? We haven't been a nation since Solomon. It's in the we could read in the Bible where Rome started taking over after Greece. We could read in the Bible where Greece was taking over Alexander. We could read in the Bible where we went into Egypt and they took us over. We could read how many times we went into captivity 14 times in the Bible. We can read about all that. Most of them. All right? 14 times. Our calamity has been since then. One day, Esau, who's never been a slave. Has Esau ever been a slave? No. Everybody start shaking their head. No. They be lying. They was indentured service. They like the Irish. I think it was the Irish or the Italians. Yeah, them. They was there, but they got away. And then they had if y'all Google white people and just read it, you'll find how at some point they decided these are white people and these are not. Asian people was once white people, but they said no, they no longer white people. They're yellow people. It's called psycho something. I can't remember it. But y'all just Google white people and just read about what they said are white people. What they did. It's on Wikipedia. Read it. Right? They decided who's white people. Now, Italians and what's that name? Irish. They decided they was not white people. And that's how you got mafias, mobs. Because they became their own thing. But their power took over just as great as any other Edomite nation. Because that's who they are. But one day, they foot gonna slip. And they just gonna be stubble. All we need to burn. Cook this place. And then we gonna make it the ring or the lake of fire. Because you're gonna be the fire. Now, it's the spirit of what you say. It's actually like she said. Ask your question again. Ask your question on the microphone. The ring of the lake of fire. You said, is that what the Lord means?
Oh, is that what the Most High mean when He said He's gonna destroy the earth with fire, or is that more literal than what I'm thinking right now?
Okay, yeah, it's a double-edged sword. It's a two-part question. It's absolutely literal because you gonna have thermonuclear warfare. You gonna have nukes and bombs and all kind of stuff just killing Esau or unaliving Esau. But that's gonna be Esau and Esau. Russia, Gog and Magog fighting America. You're gonna have T-Men and Amalek, and saying there's so many different people that's supposed to fight each other, and that's thermonuclear warfare. And the Lord said we're gonna be somewhere else. He's gonna save us, and then when we come back, it's a book of Joel. Maybe talk about it one day. Like when that time comes, it said the army of the Lord gonna come over the mountain like sunrise. And it said when the army come, they're gonna be like horses. They're all gonna be marching. And it said they're gonna be like there. You blink the eye, and they're gonna be right in front of you. And everything that's in front of them is garden, oasis, right? It's what do you call the Garden of Eden? Thick bountiful. Everything in front of them is an oasis. Utopia, that's the word. And everything behind them is fire. And that's how they said they can't die. They will never break ranks, meaning they won't turn around. Right? You won't see them nod or flinch or anything like that. That's the army of the Lord. And they're gonna be climbing in windows. It said that day, there's never been any man like them before, and there will never be any man like them after. Those are the men that's gonna take over the earth. That's the book of Joel. I think it's Joel. Right? Joel chapter 2. That's the day of destruction. We can talk about that. I gotta ask these questions so we can, because I be coming in here like, you know what I'm saying? Damn, that was a bad class. I come in here like, Y'all ask these questions, then we can actually I can put a class together for y'all. And I'm like, all right, bet. You want to talk about destruction? Let's do it. Y'all want to talk about A, B, and C? Let's do it. I got all these notes for what? All these books. All y'all got to do is ask a question, and I'm coming with it. Or y'all come to the crib. Or you can call me if you want online. Just call me. You know what I'm saying? And we can talk about all of this stuff. This is what we do. We study for a reason. So we all can learn. Don't let me sit here with it in my head. And then, you know what I mean, somebody come spin the block on me and it all dies with me. You know what I'm saying? Like, somebody want to Emmett till me. You know what I'm saying? And then it all dies with me. Don't let it die in my head. It's your job to download the information into your brain. Like I did to everybody else. I'm sitting beside them like I'm at the table like the showbread. I'm at the table like the frankincense and myrrh. And I'm just listening, soaking up the information. Because I wanted it, I needed it. And that's what y'all should be doing. Y'all should be out here trying to get the information. Because y'all got a job to do. Y'all got people to save. You know what I'm saying? This ain't just we ain't just wearing this on your shirt. It's inside of you. This shit I always had this shit. I just never knew. I always had the spirit, I just never knew. You know what I'm saying? And you just feed it, and become somebody great. Because if you don't, the men that have the knowledge you need, they no longer be here. And you missed that train. You missed the breakdown. Like I was talking to Gabo today. If I missed the class, it wasn't none of this internet. If I missed the class, I just missed the breakdown. That was it. I couldn't go back. It's like notes in class. Like, yo, what he said last week? But I can't because I was there to hear it. You just missed it. That's what y'all need to do. Come to class, write it down, take notes, and learn. And try to save sisters too. Y'all got work to do too. It ain't easy. The Lord gave y'all a light that we can't shine, and vice versa. You know what I mean? Y'all got y'all glory just like men got their glory. The moon has its own glory. The sun has its own glory. They not the same. You know what I'm saying? Y'all got work to do too. I think it's just us. But you got to find out what it is that you have to do. So it's, how you find it out? That's probably them. Who? Yeah. How you find out what your job is as a sister? Okay. Okay. We had many classes called Soul Sisters, right? Soul Sisters. Maybe I should run a couple back. I should probably do them again, right? Now, we read about women in the Bible and their spirit, right? And what they did for the Lord, right? Our life don't belong to us. It belongs to the Lord. Your body belongs to the Most High, right? And you use the Most High uses you on earth to save his people, right? To get us back to where we should be, right? Now, there's women that you may see or that you may speak to that you know are righteous, that are doing the work of the Lord. Those women help you become better women, right? You have a husband that can help you be the woman that he wants you to be, right? So just like Christ is our Lord or our head, your husband is your head, right? Everybody has a superior. So your husband is your Lord, just like Christ is our ruler or king, just like Christ is our ruler or king or our Lord. And the Most High is the Most High power. He's the highest power. He rules everything. So your job is to find out how can you assist the men of the Lord to do their job. Deborah became a judge because she saved Israel. She said, this is what's going to happen. A woman is going to unalive that man. And he said, well, if you go with me, then I'll go. And she said, all right, I'll go. And she went with him. And not Deborah, but another woman took a nail and drove it through his head. And Israel was saved because she was able to translate an understanding that she had. But they came to her husband to ask, can you talk to your wife? because we know who she is. We know how her mind works. So she saved Israel, judge meaning deliverer. So we all have a job to do. And don't think your job is any smaller than anybody else. Your job is just as great as everyone's job. We all have a job, but you got to find out what you are here for. It's like I had to find out what I'm here for. And every brother in this room got to find out what position they play. Because you can't put a center in a point guard position. Or you can't put a quarterback as a running back. It won't work. So as you get in the game, you'll find out what position fits best for you. You'll find out where you should be. Or someone else will find out where you should be. And they'll put you there. And once you get in that space, you run it up. So that's how you find out what your job is. You just get in the game and keep playing. And then you'll take correction. But correction should make you better. Because if you weren't corrected, you'll keep doing wrong. And if nobody want to correct you, then nobody care about you. What's sound crazy? If nobody wants to give you the chastisement, they don't care. But if they try to fix or they try to deal with you, that's them showing that they care. And they're trying to get you to a certain place. And once they get you there, then you'll be good. Because I took 1,000 checks. We all took 1,000 checks. Small things. Somebody said the general walked away and he walked in the back and he was like, take the soap out the bag. And I was like, he walked away. And then one brother was like, what you say, General? If I could, sir? I was like, yeah, the general said take the soap out the bag. You know, I'm a young man. You know how you on the block, you need samples and all that. And it was like, yo, you can't give a man above you any orders. I'm not giving him orders, I'm just telling him what the general said. And he was like, no, Shemai, Shemai. And I'm trying to tell him what the general said. And me as a young man, I'm like, yo, what you talking about, Shemai? I'm getting hyped up and angry, whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying? And I took the check-in that day. And then I felt like he shouldn't have checked me. So I called somebody else. And I was like, yo, he said A, B, and I got checked again. You get what I'm saying? And I'm looking at the phone like, yo, who you think he talking to? So I come to class. I was a young man. I come to class every day like this. And I was just angry, you get what I'm saying? Because I'm like, yo, who you talking to like that? But that's what was needed to become somebody better. So, you know what I mean? You become who you're going to become in the truth by dealing with your wrongs. By running into brick walls and correcting yourself. And if you could keep going, then you're strong. If you fall that day, then you're I pray y'all get the 6-point star Satan. The 6-point star Satan. Okay, North Memphis. You tell me the shape of a star, North Memphis. What's the shape of the sun? The sun is a star. Tell me the shape of the sun, North Memphis. And then tell me what star is shaped like the one you put in there. What star is shaped like this? Show me a star in the sky that's shaped like this. Star is a ball of gas. Come on, North Memphis. Be a little bit smarter than that. This is Dawadah signature. It's a da and a da. If you can see over there, the Hebrew, it's 2 das upside down. It's his signature. That's how he signed the signet. That's how he sent off his mail. This represented the children of Israel. This is our king's seat, and we wear this shield because we want to bring back the kingdom of Israel. And if you're not trying to bring back the kingdom of Israel, then you just in the way. GDs, 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 D's. I'm not even going to deal with this, brother. Brother, get in class, my man. If your knowledge go back to GDs, then you don't have any. Not King David. Well, why do they say they put it on King David? Why do GDs say on King David? The GDs even say it's King David's star. Come on, North Memphis. The Star of Solomon. Okay, you just talking now. No sweat. With that being said, King David, or whatever your name is, North Memphis. You know what? You got a question? What's your question?
Salaki, sir, as a trooper, I know as a trooper you're not supposed to teach, but I've so Like when you hear certain people talking about certain things in the street, how do you handle that as a trooper? Because I know you're not supposed to teach.
Mm-hmm.
So how do you handle that?
Okay. As a trooper, your job is to learn.
Huh.
Let me ask you a question. Um, okay. Let's say your aunt and your uncle was having a discussion about whatever, right? Or the child's aunt and uncle was having a discussion about whatever, and the child witnessed it. Would you expect the child to teach their aunt and their uncle about whatever they're arguing about? Why not?
Because they're they're a child.
You as a trooper, you're young in the truth. I mean, you're susceptible to Satan on all corners. Your job is to learn. So when you see somebody arguing in the street, your best bet is to watch. What I learned as a trooper that saved my life is shut the hell up. That's what you learn. As a young man, as a trooper, just shut up. Like this brother Witchcraft should do. I mean, what's his name? North Memphis. What did he say? Hold on. 666, calculate the number of the beast. 3 points is the number of the beast. Count the number in mathematically. We live in the information that a brother, I believe black people are the true Hebrew. Okay, most I don't rock with the star. Okay. See, what happens is, he said it's witchcraft. Now, what's the witchcraft behind the star or the shield? Like, what does it do? Like, witchcraft is potion. Witchcraft is making you believe something that is like, witchcraft is you getting high. Witchcraft is you snorting coke and shooting heroin and smoking weed. That's witchcraft, because they make a potion and you use it, and then you're under a spell. That's witchcraft. The shield, the star of oh God, we ain't gonna do this to him. This is what you need to do, North Memphis. Come back next week, right? And we're gonna break down the shield of David for you. Star of Rembrandt or whatever you're saying. Star. I'm sure you're gonna say the Star of Molech next. I know what you're typing. The Star of Molech. You know what I mean? Next week we're gonna discuss the shield of David for you. And for your question, what you do is you watch, you learn, you listen, and you just see how people discuss the Bible. You see how people discuss the words and the scriptures of the Most High, and you see their knowledge or their understanding of it, and you just take notes, because one day you'll have the responsibility. One day as a child you'll grow older, and your aunt and your uncles will ask you that question, and when they ask you the question because they feel like you have the authority to answer, you will, because you've been trained to answer. So just stick with your training and just learn what the Most High wants you to learn. Basic scriptures, how to break them down. Like I just asked you to break down the scripture, and you know what I mean, you're working on it. So just work on it. Do your push-ups, do your sit-ups, get physically, mentally fit. Get strong in the truth. Let the Lord grow you and become who you are. We don't know who Gadol is yet. Gadol may be a priest and prophet that the Lord sent to juggernaut the earth. Just learn. Christ studied for 30 years before he became Christ. Before he became the Savior of the Messiah, he was studying for 30 years. His mom was like, turn the water into wine. He like, no, it ain't my time yet. Say that. It ain't my time yet. You know what I mean? The Lord gonna make me somebody great in due time. At some point in time. Oh, I love this. I wish we had more time for this guy. The Bible tells you not to be like the heathen. It's in the book of Wicca. Why is it in Wicca? I don't even know what Wicca is. Most High Christ. Listen, North Memphis. There's a school in Memphis. Why don't you do this? Search I.S.U.P.K. Memphis. Go to the school in Memphis. They got classes on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays from 7 to 9. So if you go to the school in Memphis, you can ask all these questions, and they'll be there to answer your questions. I promise you. And unlike the Christian church, we got the answers. All of these questions have answers. And believe you me, if I open this book, it's 1,000 answers in here. We don't got the time for you, but you do got the time next week or this week to go to class in Memphis. If you serious about how serious you are about typing, you'll walk both of them stinking feet to the school in Memphis, and you'll become somebody greater. But if you don't want to be somebody greater, and you want to be a nigga that type on the computer, then let me know. I'll know next week, North Memphis, who you want to be. If you just want to be a sucker that types, or if you want to be somebody that's going to be a warrior for the Most High in Christ. But if you want to be a vagina, then keep typing. If not, I'll see you next week, and you're going to be talking about how you enjoyed class in Memphis. With that being said, pass the class off to Precinct Officer Yakubai.
We are the Israelite Universal Practical Knowledge, started on 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rule for new brother or sister. When a new brother or sister comes to the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There's another 6-month period in which the brother or sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, the brother or sister will get the permission head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. The book of Numbers, chapter 18, verse 21. The book of Malachi, chapter 3, verse 8 through 10, which means Ma'asharah, which means tenth in the Hebrew. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, gives to the Treasury Department or teacher. Priest fund, free will offering for priests, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like or whatever size box. Upcoming holy convocation. Memorial blowing of trumpets. First day of the 7th month. Wednesday, October 2nd, 2024. The book of Leviticus, chapter 23, verses 24 through 25. If anyone wants to become a trooper in a school, start wearing all black. Boots, shirt, pants, headband, and or scarf. These are security numbers.
Brother said he already know everything we saying. And then he said he already know everything we saying, right? And then he said ignorance is bliss. And so I think he's saying that he'd rather not know. He'd rather live in a lie. Huh? Yeah, I know it's the truth. I know. He'd rather live in a lie. Because the truth, you know what I'm saying, is something that's too strong for him. These brothers that's here, that they got boot braids and they trying to save your life and they make you be not a homosexual, colorful person. You know what I'm saying? They trying to make you be uncolorful. You know what I mean? Those brothers are just too strong. He'd rather just be ignorant because he's blissful. Ooh, that sounds so sweet. Sounds so sugary. With that being said, men of Israel, Almighty. We will praise and salute. In Israel, Mighty Shabbat, Mighty Barak, Yahweh Shem Yahushua Barakathem, Mighty Matah, Most High, which is in Christ, Sar, and the turn sisters, our mothers, and understand. In Israel, for the sister person. In Israel, Mighty Shabbat, Mighty Barak, Yahweh Shemar Latah Shem Yahushua. Mighty Matah.